What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about Hologram. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what has really caused Hologram to go higher, and with the reverse stock split now passed, I want to give you some kind of expectations on some time frames. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, Hologram did have a pretty epic run. And so over the last 5 days, it did go up 17.7%. So instantly, I did get a lot of comments on previous videos saying I was wrong, blah, blah, blah. Before you jump up and down, you have to also realize why it is going up, especially with there being no news whatsoever. And I hate being the villain or being seen as the villain, because all I'm doing is trying to educate. Whenever you do look back at historical data though and see very much abnormal spikes, that is coinciding with dilution. And for those of you that think dilution isn't occurring, just refer back to their last kind of earnings, right? So for the first half of 2024, starting was about 5.9 million. So I'll kind of erase all that. So 5.9 million. And because of dilution, so shares converted from promissory notes, or the conversions of that, 104. And so combined 110s, right? Since then, it's we already know it's a lot higher than that, but it goes to show the gravity of exactly how damaging those conversions are. So every time you see a spike, in my opinion, you have to be very, very cautious about the validity of it. But once again, I really hope I am wrong. I hope Hologram goes up 10,000%, and then you guys can put all over saying that I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. But in the end, I really don't care if you guys are buying or selling. I'm only doing this to educate. There's a lot of YouTubers that are targeting investors of Hologram and saying, hey, this is a must buy. This is going to pump because of this. A lot of them are kind of talking on technicals, which is kind of BS in my opinion for a momentum play with having very sporadic volume kind of levels. So you see it going 20 million, then 48, 111, all over the place. So yeah, be very cautious about individuals. Even myself, do your guys' own due diligence. But historically speaking, this speaks for itself. So yeah, in my opinion, there is significant amount of dilution occurring, but the moral of the story is that the company needs to put out news. Plain as day. They have a lot of cash, which is very apparent from their last earnings, but it comes down to, and underline this, they need to put something out. Last news that came out was on February the 7th. There is so much hopium with investors that they will do something good. And so far for the last, what is it now, 6-7 months, they have not done anything, one bit. So I think, yeah, investors need to, there's a lot of better fish in the sea aside from Hologram, but I still cover Hologram only because, like I said, it does have a very large retail following, and a lot of people do not know exactly what, for instance, a lot of these notes are doing to the outstanding share count. And plus, most recently with the shareholder meeting that did happen on the 27th, the reverse stock split was passed. So a 1-for-20, I wanted to kind of, again, educate on when you can expect a reverse stock split. So it's going to happen in one of two scenarios, one of which was this. So based on the August 12th 6K, they did state this. So they're going to be doing it by February the 10th, 2025. So most likely it'd be 10 days prior to that. They also do add this blurb right here. And actually I'll highlight just so you guys can see it. So the company may be eligible for an additional 180-day compliance period. And the reason why they're saying that is because they're below the threshold of 1-for-250. So I'm going to talk on that in a second, but this is scenario number 1. So it'll be 10 days prior to February the 10th. So probably end of January, not counting weekends and holidays and stuff like that. Point number 2, or option number 2, would be is if they do continue to trend down below 10 cents, because there is a Nasdaq ruling that if a company trades below 10 cents for 10 consecutive trading days, they're instantly delisted. So Form 25. So in reality, day 9, if that scenario does play out, that is where they'll do the reverse stock split to rectify that. But again, as I've already stated, that 1-for-20, in my opinion, is just a temporary patch. It's not going to solve the problem itself. So once again, it'll either be based on the share price below 10 cents or potentially 10 days below this. So once again, just kind of be aware of that. But quickly going back over here for a second. So based on previous splits, they did a 1 for 10 on February the 2nd, 2024. Now going to be a 1 for 20. So combined a 1 for 200. So there's Nasdaq rulings that does state that excessive reverse stock split. So if a company has done more than a 1 for 250 within a 2-year time span, they're not allowed to have any future extensions. So this is why Hologram placed this right here. They stated this because they would be below that threshold. So meaning they could be entitled to another 180 days. So that's kind of the basis where Hologram is coming from. Still though, what Hologram can do to solve all this is just put out damn news, but again, it is what it is, right? That's what Hologram decides to do, and that's what people are really investing in. So no matter what, do your guys' own due diligence at the end of the day. So this is kind of a little bit more of a basis on the whole reverse stock split scenario, as well as why I feel it has been kind of running up, meaning aka dilution. So still, I'm happy for any investor that makes money on Hologram in any way possible or any stock. As long as you make money, that's the moral of the story, right? It doesn't matter how you do it, whether you're just lucky or you did predict this run up, it's still money is money. So again, something to kind of consider right here. Based on the Ortex information, it does indicate 6.5% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 6.99 million shares. On Friday, shorts did increase about 100,000 shares. Cost of borrow average is 15.87. Like I said, dilution, if that is occurring behind the scenes, that would really dramatically affect this. So kind of lower that. So you still see a lot of other individuals, YouTubers, saying that Hologram is a squeeze play. So be very cautious about that as well. So still, if you think it's a squeeze play, I'm not here to change your mentality. But one positive thing out of everything that I've stated is that on the 26th, there was one large entity that did buy for $168,000. Why they bought, I'm not really sure. Maybe they were anticipating or kind of around that whole shareholder meeting, or they could be buying for the purposes of lending out shares. That's also another option as well. But yeah, that's kind of a good thing. So it does have some interest from entities and large entities out there. So let me know your thoughts on Hologram. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? Do you feel that there is dilution happening behind the scenes? And when it comes down to the reverse stock split, do you think that they're ever just not going to need it, that they're going to appreciate naturally? Because I guess that is option number 3, them just appreciating naturally, not needing the reverse stock split. So, you know, again, glass half full kind of scenario if you do believe in that. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Take advantage of this promo. On a side note, it does give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.